Make sure if you're going to speak, you come up and sign the paper. We'll call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Ms. Smith.
Mr. Langenhofer?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Hartsfield?
Here.
Mr. Stahl?
Here.
Mr. Rich is absent.
Mr. Tristler, any additions or deletions to the agenda other than what we have in front of us?
Nothing other than what you have in front of you.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I would like to make a motion to table new business item A, number 26, until our April meeting.
Do I have a second? Having no second, motion fails. Again, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. So moved.
Second.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Hartsfield?
Yes.
Mr. Langenhofer?
Yes.
For recognition tonight, we have several outstanding students here. We've really been blessed the last couple of weeks with some awesome achievements. First and foremost, we'll start with the cast and crew of Mamma Mia. The cast and crew of Mamma Mia put on a phenomenal show over this weekend. I was there Friday night on opening night. In my 28 years in education and 22 years as a high school administrator or superintendent, it was the best musical I've seen in my career. The scenes were outstanding, the music was phenomenal, and the student actors and actresses just killed it on the musical. Very, very proud of the work that our directors and students did. And Mr. Groth, I saw you a minute ago, but I'm not sure where you've went. Please introduce your cast members here and tell us a little bit about the show.
All right, well, first we have Aubrey Hastings, she played Sophie, Abby Root, who was Rosie, you have Jameson Krall, who played Harry, you have Connor, who played Bill, and we have Nate, who played Sam. And it was an amazing experience this year. We got some wonderful kids, very talented, very caring, hardworking. It was very much a very positive experience. I was very, going in, I had high expectations, but they just blew it out of the park there. It was a wonderful. Especially our senior class this year, extremely talented. And the kids, it's not just that they're just in the musical, but they're in everything. They're in track and softball and swimming and basketball and football. I mean, they're just cheerleaders. They're involved in everything. 4-H. I mean, if it's in the county, they've probably been a part of it. And I think that's part of what makes them as great kids as they are. So definitely some big shoes to fill next year. And every year they've raised the bar, and I couldn't be prouder.
Friday night was a near sellout from what I could see from my vantage point. How did Saturday and Sunday go?
Saturday and Sunday were good crowds. We were competing against a lot of other shows in the area, but they were very vocal, very appreciative audiences. So I was very pleased with how it was a success in many, many different ways.
And we survived the inclement weather on Thursday night and the delay of the show.
Yeah, we ended up sheltering in place like 3-4 times in the little hallway, so everyone was safe, everything turned out fine, and every year you learn something new, so.
We appreciate the safety check and instructions from the Crawford County Sheriff's Office. And moreover, we appreciate our local Holmes Township Fire Department coming down to check in on the kids with the crew just to make sure that we were good to go. And then they gave us the all clear when it was time to head home and with a plan to be able to practice the final parts of the second act on Friday afternoon. So I commend you for picking a play that showcases our students' talent, but furthermore, a play that you picked that you knew that our kids' talents would allow them to achieve and overachieve in. So
And
very,
music
very
that the
proud.
old crowd loved.
I said to Mr. Safford on Friday, not Friday, Monday morning. I said, Mr. Safford, whoa. I said, you had the board approve some supplementals. You asked us for some help and support with the musical, the music for the musical. I said, but I didn't know that you were bringing ringers in because it was pretty
Right.
phenomenal.
That's right, it was.
Students, great job. Very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Next on the list, we want to recognize Mr. Nate Rabin for qualifying for districts in swimming. Nate, please come on up and tell us a little bit about your experience at the event and the events that you swam.
I had a great experience. I was really happy that Leah could be there with me and support me through everything, but I wasn't lined up super, and that was what I was looking for, so I was proud of that.
Fantastic. Coach, I'm sorry I didn't see you slide in.
No problem.
Anything you want to comment on and tell us about the district swim meet, and when was our last district swimmer?
Well, first and foremost, I want to tell you Nate's very humble, and he would never tell you how great he did. However, our swim team is small but mighty. Nate alone, as an individual swimmer, scored almost 75 points throughout the season. For any of you who don't have an idea about swimming, it's hard to score individual points. You have to score in the top 5 of every time you swim. So for Nate to score the way that he did throughout the season is phenomenal. I will tell you, I've been coaching for 7 years. Nate was my first district qualifier, and I believe 10 years prior to me, it was the last time we had a district qualifier, so this was kind of fun for us. A little bit nerve-wracking, just because I didn't really know for sure what was going on. Sarah Bruner was phenomenal. She was a great point of reference for me, so I appreciate that. And also, you know, for a swimmer from Wynford who just practices at the Bucyrus Y and swims locally at some of the local high schools and some of the Ys, to be able to go to a college pool, swim at a college pool, and at the end of the season, after you've tapered, which means you just kind of like given those muscles time to relax and not really push yourself, and still come out with a personal best time is phenomenal. So for that, I commend you, and I'm super proud of Nate, and I mean, he's going to continue to swim in college and have great success there.
Coach Hartshu, thanks for taking your time to coach on this. Nate, great job. Finally tonight we have Addison Stuckey. We would like to recognize her for qualifying at the indoor state track and field championship in the 400-meter dash. Addison, slide on up. Would love to hear about the event and your experience at the event that you ran at.
It was a pretty fun experience. I've been there like twice now. So I would just like to thank everybody for all your support, and I'd like to thank my coaches who have helped me. They were there at the event, so it was a pretty cool experience.
Wonderful.
Good job.
Awesome. Congratulations. Very, very cool.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Now it's time for public participation. I see there are 3 people here that have signed up. Oh, yeah.
We'll let recognitions go real quick. We'll
If they
take
want
a 30-second scene change, as Mr. Grove told me he had in the musical. All the scene changes down to 30 seconds or less. You can take all the time you need. Thanks for coming tonight, students.
Thank you. Those that are wishing to speak that have signed in, I want to remind you there's a 3-minute limit, total time of 30 minutes for everybody. So first on the list we got, let's see what we got here. Dawson Pelter. You have the floor.
Thank you. I wanted to begin by giving each board member two things. One is a copy of signatures from my teammates, various people who would like to see their coach's renewal. Many of my teammates could not attend due to sports and other various commitments, so I had a lot of them sign that just to show their commitment and support with my coaches. I've also included a copy of my original speech. I had to condense it down quite a lot to meet the 3-minute time limit, so it goes into much further detail, and I feel like it would be beneficial for you guys to read that once we have time as well. Good evening. My name is Dawson Pelcher, and I'm a junior at Wynford and a member of our boys basketball team. And I'm here to express our team's strong support for our coaches, particularly our head coach, Mike Smith. For those who have not heard, it has been rumored that if a vote was conducted, there would be a good chance our coaches would not be renewed for next season. I, along with almost all of my teammates, many parents and community members, and all of our head administrators strongly disagree with even the thought of this, especially my fellow seniors who face our last year of basketball here at Wynford. When hearing this information, I decided to self-organize an effort to alter this potential decision and speak the truth about what the coaches mean to me and the rest of the players who are here or signed the paper I provided each of you. Starting with the state of our program, it has done nothing but grow under their guidance. Numbers are up throughout the entire program, morale and sense of family are high, and engagement spurs from elementary to high school, with even the elementary teams having to divide into 2 teams for each grade level, and the high school level having over 30 players return next year. Our coaches go beyond the call of duty, supporting us not just on the court, but in life too, which is apparent with how many people have joined. The way they coach and care about us speaks volumes about them, but so do their backgrounds. All of the coaches from 7th through 12th grade, with the exception of one who is and has been heavily involved, are entirely Wynford bred. Their qualifications are undeniable, with notable achievements both as players and coaches, like Coach Smith, who as a player was a college national champion, and as a coach now has had 2 back-to-back winning seasons. So with all of this, I look to see where the criticism comes from. Yes, we haven't always met expectations in some aspects, but we've faced various challenges and also have seen significant success. Back-to-back winning seasons, top rankings in our league, especially in offense, and individual player honors showcase our progress. Change for the sake of change isn't always the answer. Continuity and stability are crucial for growth, as it is impossible to build anything and get our program back to where it should be without it. Other successful teams in our league, for example, have had long-standing coaches which emphasize the importance of consistency and building a program. These coaches we have now have already made tremendous changes, and with continued time, we will continue to return Wynford basketball to where it should be. To the board members, I urge you to consider the impact of your decision on our lives and community. This isn't about personal agendas, but about what's best for our team and school. Please make the right choice based on facts and the support from my team, parents, community members, and administration. When we have time, please read the full speech I have written out too, as it highlights even more of what great coaches they are and more of the facts behind what I have presented today. Regardless, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to all of you, and thank you for your time and consideration this evening. I also wanted to express my gratitude, first, to you board members for allowing me to speak, to my teammates who were able to show up, and those who wanted to be here but couldn't, and to community members and parents who came to show their support tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawson. Second on the list, Sandra? Didn't you say Sandra? Oh, come on, Levi, come on. I think I said Sandra.
Good evening all, Sandra Taylor. My son is also a part of the boys basketball program. I wanted to voice my opinion to the board as well as to community members that I also support the Smith family and their coaching ability. I speak on personal reference with my son. This was the first time since he was playing Wynford basketball in the 4th grade that he's been a part of a winning program. He flourished this year. He was allowed to do things he wasn't typically allowed to do in prior coaching regime. I owe that a lot to the Smith family, especially Nate. Nate really took a liking to my son and really encouraged him and supported him. I feel that's priceless in shaping him for the future. Winning seasons and losing seasons build character. So you take the good with the bad. So, sometimes it doesn't go the way that everyone expects, but how you handle yourself, how you handle your program speaks volumes. I feel as though the Smith family had all good intentions and had the best interests of our boys as they are shaping them to be young men. I hope you take my opinion into your decision in renewal or not renewing the contract. It's up to you. But I wanted that to be public. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Kelly?
Hi. I'm Kelly Wheeler. I'm a teacher here, but I'm also a Wynford resident, a parent, and a fellow veteran teacher. First and foremost, let me express my disappointment regarding the recent outcome of one of our renewals. It failed. This levy was not just about funding, it was about ensuring that our schools have the necessary resources to provide a quality education to our children. Its failure is indicative of a disconnect between our school board and the community it serves. What I find even more concerning was the apparent lack of foresight and planning for the passage of that renewal. I believe it's the responsibility of the school board and the superintendent to inform our public, our electorate, that we did have renewals on the ballot. Why were there no signs anywhere that said no new taxes? Or even explain to the public that the elementary building is now paid off, so there is a small reprieve in those taxes? I feel we failed our kids. I know hindsight's 20/20, and now I have heard stories as this day has progressed of Wynford residents that did not even know we had renewals on the ballot. A lot of people don't like to go to the primary, or vote for the primaries. They decide to sit those out. But if they said that they would have known that they were on the ballot, something around our community, one sign that said no new taxes, they feel bad about not being there to vote. I find that unacceptable. We need to inform our electorate. Also today, I found the board agenda very concerning because we are now facing a tremendous loss of revenue. I saw where all the supplementals were X'd through, and to focus on our superintendent's contract, it doesn't even expire at the end of this school year. We do have some time. We have some time to sit down and figure this out, especially after they riffed our athletic director today at 7:30 in the morning. We need our administrators. I don't know if people realize kids come to us with so many problems. It's nice to have extra sets of eyes, our administrators, helping us teachers out. I have too heard about all the basketball drama contracts. That's ridiculous. It's very unsettling. I think the board needs to focus now on our academics, stop with the athletic stuff, listen to your peoples, and you're going to have to find ways to fund our district. I'm highly concerned. In closing, students are the ones that are going to lose out on valuable educational opportunities because of the failure to let our electorate know of our educational needs. Thank you.
Okay. Item number 7, treasurer's items. Discussion from your standpoint, Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, I do have a few things to throw along. With the fund advances and transfers, the advances are that standard with the capital projects with the High School Facilities Commission. Mr. Trissler has reached out to try to get, again this month, try to get those projects completed. We're running 2 of them.
They say they will be here tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the exit door.
Okay,
That was a late breaking, yeah.
Maybe we'll be able to finalize that soon. And then the other thing on there is transfers, and that's just related with the Wynford Education Foundation grants. The Education Foundation so graciously gives grants to our teachers. From there, anything, the agreement is if there's any balances, $25 or less, that we move those on to the principal's fund, and anything higher than that goes back to the Education Foundation to do grants for the next year. So we took care of that. So I just want to explain to you what that is for. Financial report, we just updated the 5-year forecast last month, and it turns out it's even more valuable after what we're going through right now. with the passing of the $350,000 renewal levy, when I go to update that, which I tried to do today, and something about the software wasn't acting the way I wanted it to, so I didn't end up getting that to you. But the end result on that is that 5-year forecast I presented to you in February. When it comes down to it, that bottom line is still going to be real because, of course, we need that 6.9 mil operating renewal to pass for us, and passing in later in this calendar year, hopefully. Some dedication to that, I think that forecast will still be accurate. Keep in mind, I do need to update it again to submit to ODE by, I guess we'll call it by the end of May. So I will do that definitely for the May 13th board meeting. I want to talk quickly about a crazy thing of the concession stand, and the only reason I want to do that is because we were able to turn around a net profit, and that's sales less expenses to run that concession stand of $23,000 back to our student organizations. So that's good, so great for our organizations. They received between a 50 and 60% profit. They were able to take back from the organizations and just do one fundraiser or work one night, for example. So I want to thank Nate Smith for taking that on when no one else was willing to do that. A lot of many hours and late nights, but so worth it because, well, I guess, to tell you the truth, I guess I took a part in that also, only because it's kind of hard to be a boys basketball coach while you're running a concession stand. I think that's a community service as much as it is a fundraiser, so it's a win-win. So just wanted to let you know by bringing that back in, we had that out to the athletic boosters for a few years, if you remember. I think that's one reason it's kind of hard to get somebody to commit all that time again, but it really been a turnaround and benefiting our student organizations. So I also want to thank all the advisors that were willing to take on a night and work on those concession stands for the girls and boys basketball to be game nights. For the audit, this week I received an email that says that we received the Auditor of States Award for our auditing, compliance, so on. And ironically, my two assistants happen to be sitting in here. Julie Schoenfeld, you're still sitting back there, Julie? Okay, these are you. And Assistant Treasurer and my assistant Dana Roush are sitting here. First and foremost, you might get choked up a little bit. Those two are amazing. They are just amazing. We received that award starting with them and them buying in. And then from there, teachers, staff, administrators, thank you for buying in to what we're trying to do to stay compliant with so many regulations. There's a lot more on the academic side that I don't have to focus on. So you're focusing on that. You're trying to teach, take care of the kids, and still say, when I have to come to you and say, we need to tweak those things a little bit. Thank you. And of course, thank you to Mr. Trissler for finishing buying into that and the board members for their support. So that award is, I know it's sent to you and your staff, so Julie and Dana, but it's a district award. We have to work together. We're here to be a family and work together. So I'm proud of all of you, and I thank you very much for everything you do for my office and for each other. So sorry for getting. I love this district just a little bit.
Lisa, if you wouldn't mind bragging for just a minute, I know that's a very tough award to win. How many districts get? I know it's not many.
611.
6%.
Sorry.
6% of all governmental entities, so not just school districts, receive that award.
Approximately 36 districts in the state.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's fantastic, Lisa.
Grover Pipeline, board members and Mr. Trissler has forwarded you an email from Becky Prince-Horn from Bricker and Graydon, our district attorney, or attorney group, that she's been right from the right from the beginning, Aurora Pipeline has been really following and assisting us, and you can notice she wrote that email to all of us soon after there was a movement in that appeal. Did we get that next week? Probably not. I would love to have that. Wouldn't we just love to have that final answer? We could move forward financially. We could decide, it's all in the capital projects fund right now. Right now, there's a balance of 2.9 million, but again, we don't know if we're going to pay all that back or not. And in fact, we should have more in there once the accounting auditor has a chance to give me that amount. But I want to give you an example of not knowing how much Aurora Pipeline is going to pay to all the school districts, townships each time. We've received as little as $108,000 in a year and as much as $793,000. So it's just a matter of not knowing even how much they're going to provide each year, let alone what that appeal is going to be. So we've got some decisions to make in that area also, and hopefully with that movement, we even just can finalize that soon, or they can finalize that soon for us. Finally, in light of the work session we already have planned for April 6th, and in light of yesterday, what I need from all of you to prepare properly for you to have an effective meeting that day is let me know things you're going to look at. Maybe category of expenses, or I don't know, sky's the limit. But I want to be able to have that prepared for you so you can have an effective meeting and not, let's go back and I got to prepare. Because a lot of it takes some time to put together to make sure it's accurate for you. So just be thinking about here that in the next week and let me know. So do you have any questions for me? That's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Do I have a motion to approve item 7, numbers 1 through 3?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hartshu?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Langendorfer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Under item 8, old business, items 1 through 5. Any questions? If not, do I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Hartshu?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Langendorfer?
Yes. Under new business, item A, holy smokes. Crossed out 25, 22, down through item 26. I have a board member that wants to pull 26 for a separate. I don't know why we can't do that, but do I need a motion for that?
We haven't in the past.
You have? with that?
We have not.
Okay.
We just pulled them. That's up to you as president, but we do not need to it.
Okay, well, any other board members' comments on that? Okay, well, to be respectful, said board member, we'll pull that one out and act on that one separate. Do I have a motion for the other items? I guess 1 through 24 then?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hartshu?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Langendorfer?
Yes. Item number 26, contract renewal for Mr. Tristler. Yes, go ahead.
My reasoning for pulling it out is I agree a lot with what Kelly was saying. I think at this time, we as a district need to develop a plan on how we will move forward to recover almost $1 million worth of income that we've lost. I think that we need to make that plan. That was my purpose of tabling it to next month. So between now and then, we can have tonight and our work session to decide how we're going to move forward. And that is my sole reason for pulling this out, is I think we need a plan, and at this time we don't have that. So I think we need to figure out how we're going to spend our money before we move forward.
Any other comments? Do I have a motion for item 26? Approve contract renewal for foresters. So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Hartshu?
No.
Mr. Langendorfer?
Yes. Item B, recommended to approve the following operational items. I have a long list there also, through number 24. Any questions or discussion on that? Do I have a motion? So moved. Second.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Hartshu?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Yes. Open board discussion, anything else any board members want to bring up at this time?
I was going to talk about Lisa and her department's great award. I know that's an amazing accomplishment.
It's terribly amazing, and you should be very proud of that. You, your staff, and everybody involved with Wynford. Thank you very much for all that hard work. That's great. I also want to thank the community. We seem to forget that there was one of the issues that did pass, and thank the community for doing that. Hindsight, whatnot, whatever, I don't know, like Kelly said, but we're at where we're at, so I do appreciate the community members. I was never one to tell anybody how to vote, I just wanted them to vote, and obviously there wasn't many votes, period, so whatever that means, that's what it means, and hopefully we go on in the future, we can get this done, we can get this passed in the future. So. Yeah, well, one of the questions people were asking me about, these renewals have been up, this is when I was still here, okay, so a long time ago, and they've always passed, and we have never had a campaign for these renewals. Somebody said, but we've had a campaign for building issues, income tax issues, but we've never had a campaign, and boards can't run the campaign. We can't do the campaign. It has to come from the community, the citizenship, or something like that. So bear that in mind too as we go on for trying to get this thing renewed. So.
Well, I don't think it'd be a campaign, but we set the sign at least out here in front of the school.
Not for the renewals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
There's one right here. Because I remember Fred Fox when I was a student carrying it out there and putting it in the ground.
Superintendents and treasurers are no longer allowed to do that due to the auditor estates finding. You're not allowed to use your public office to try to influence the outcome of an election.
I just think it was just, people needed to know. That's where we fell down. People needed to know.
Probably so at this point now, yeah. Any other comments from board members? Okay, hearing none. Superintendent's comments?
Lisa, Julie, and Dana, fantastic work. Very, very proud of you. I see your dedication to the district, to our teachers, our staff, and our students daily. You always make sure that our support staff have the tools that they need and the resources to get the job done. Our teachers don't go without in this district, thanks to your work in getting requisitions, purchase orders moved quickly. In a year and 3 quarters, never had an issue getting a purchase order within 24 hours. And ladies, I'm very proud of your work. Thank you so much for your service to the district. The only other superintendent comment that I had tonight was we are facing at least $1 million in reductions. Just to set the record straight, our 6.9 renewal failed by 13 votes last night. That is nearly $1 million in funding for the district, $954,658 to be exact. The emergency levy did pass, and we are very, very grateful for that. However, that emergency levy is only $350,000. The renewal levies, it's important to note, they do not grow with time. They are set at the dollar amount when they are passed in 1994 or 2003, and they do not grow with time. You would need a replacement levy to do something like that. So, we were counting on that $1.3 million in total funding to help the 5-year forecast. We had some contingency plans in place, and we will be working hard over the next month to figure out a way to manage the loss of that nearly $1 million in funding. My recommendation would be that we would seek that in November, immediately on the next election that we can.
Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn to executive session? So moved.
Second.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Stahl?
Yes.
Mr. Hartsfield?
Yes.
Mr. Langenberg?
Yes.
There will be no action out of executive session tonight, if I'm correct, Mr. Langenberg.
Yes.
No action after executive session tonight.
Thank you all for coming.